Purpose.
Okay. Okay, we are live.
Hey, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. And this is pre-Thanksgiving, isn't it?
It sure is.
Man,
What are you cooking?
oh, I'm not cooking nothing. I'm not cooking up. I'm cooking up some knowledge. That's what I am. Some pre-Thanksgiving knowledge. That's what I'm cooking up. What about you? What are you cooking? Macaroni and cheese?
I'm not.
Not
No,
what?
I haven't. Who's gonna eat it, right? I haven't
What?
cooked that in so long.
My grandkids like that, don't
My
they?
son does not. He does not eat macaroni and cheese. Can you
Kidding
believe
me?
it? Mm-mm.
Wow.
Because when he was smaller, I didn't give him that, so he doesn't. So I
Wow.
have a whole pan. So
So you cooking turkey or any vegan stuff, or I know it's
um,
gonna be non-gluten, whatever you cook.
correct.
All
It's
right.
gonna be gluten free. So generally on holidays, Kyla and I just kind of lay in the bed and eat lobster claws. so, but yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw this guy on Instagram and he made a turkey and it looks so good. Like the way that he made it, it was he cracked it open and like
Oh my god.
butterflied the
Oh my
turkey
god.
and everything. So her Kyla's friends are in town and they always come over. So I bought a turkey. So I said, let me see if I can make the turkey.
Oh man.
Maybe, but yeah.
You should
We'll
watch
see.
this. Netflix got a new
Mhm.
docu series on, and it's
Mhm.
called Stamp. I started watching it.
Mhm.
It is so good.
What is it about?
It's about like why is black so bad, and what is
Hmm.
black and what is white. It's
Mm.
a really interesting document. It is
Okay.
really good. I'm going to watch it over the holiday weekend. You should
Okay.
check it out.
Okay. There's something that I saw, some bridge something that somebody were talking about. And I started to ask you, do you have HBO Plus? But then I remember I got HBO Plus.
Yeah, you do.
Well, the children told me, they're like, we have HBO
Yeah.
Plus, Bridgewater or something. I'm like, I'm paying for this.
It's a lot of good stuff coming out, man. In terms of a wellness, if you want to be aware,
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's the show going to be about today. We're talking about your future self. Are you planning now for your future self? That's a
Mhm.
big deal. Because you ever heard the term "always a day late and a dollar short"?
Absolutely.
That's because that's lack of planning.
Mhm.
Just dealing in the now right
Mhm.
now. And don't even think about the future, don't even plan about the future. When you do that, you always a day late and a dollar short. You're always saying, man, I wish I would have. I should have done that. But if we could get a consciousness where we can say, okay, what we're doing right now is for tomorrow. I mean, people that are cooking today,
Mhm.
they're cooking today for tomorrow. Isn't that
Mhm.
something?
Mhm.
They're planning, they're seasoning, they're doing their macaroni and cheese and their candy
Mhm.
yams and their collard greens and they're all they're soaking, but all this kind of stuff. And they're preparing they season it for tomorrow.
Mhm.
And that's what life is really all
You got a
about.
haircut.
Okay, you stopped me right into my you
I'm
stopped me
sorry. It
right
looks
into my
good. I'm
groove.
sorry. Okay, keep going. I'll come back to that.
Okay, so that's awful. So I want y'all to focus on that and think about that in
Mhm.
terms of if you really want to be ahead, not be a day late and a dollar short, you got to plant your seeds now because tomorrow is definitely going to come. Matter of fact, tomorrow will come. Now, it didn't come for a whole lot of people, but it's coming. And we do it subconsciously for Christmas, for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Taking that cruise, graduating. We
Mhm.
already plan right
Mhm.
now for that. But when it comes to finances, something goes missing. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I just realized we didn't introduce ourselves. We just started talking.
That's right.
We just started
All
talking.
right. I'm Robert Henderson Jr.,
Yeah.
certified financial planner, certified tax coach. I'm the founder, president and CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I'm a certified tax coach also, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. And I love it. Our office here is in Miami Lakes, Florida. We have clients all over the country and out of the country. We love what we do. We bring your future into your present. And that's what we want to talk about today. And this here is my lovely daughter, who I'm so proud of, who's been with me for 22 years. And she's going to tell you about herself.
Yes. So my name is Hyacinth Henderson. I am the co-CEO at the Henderson Financial Group. I love what I do. I've been here for about 22 years. And yeah, that's where we are.
You can talk about your licenses and all that. You want to get away from all that? Yeah. It's just doing. You're just doing it.
Yeah, those are just tools in my
That's
tool
true.
belt, right? So those are tools. It depends on what job I need to complete and what service I need to provide and what part of the house we're working on, what part of the financial house. So I don't like to lead with that. I'm getting away from that. But we do have the appropriate tools, which means I am appropriately licensed. And you can visit www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Financial physicians.
Yeah.
www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. You would go to our website. So plethora of things that you would really like, and you can really get a hold to. Thank you.
Because I'm studying for there's two things on my plate, and I'm like, how long am I just gonna keep adding on to this?
Yes, you are.
So
Linda, yes, 22 years, Linda. Can you believe that?
I know.
22 years.
You know what I told somebody? Who was I talking to? I can't remember, but I said he took me from the delivery room to the desk.
The snow cone.
Right. Because they're like 22 years, you don't look. I'm like, drink your water.
Yes.
But anyway, so 22 years. I love what I do. I was thinking about that the other day, just overcome with gratitude. I think it was yesterday. Like I literally love my work. I love it. And I'm so happy that I'm in this space. Yes, it is a lot of work. It is forever work. The good thing is I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy explaining it. And just here we are.
And it's growing. And all the changes is never stagnant.
Yeah.
Something is new all the time. So we like work, but we're not, call it work. We work, but we're in our field of what we like to do, and that's something that you want to seek and knock and ask, so that can happen to you also, because all of us have something, and we're more than what we think we are. We really are. I'm telling you, whatever you are, I promise you are much more than what you think you are. And there are no limits. They really not, because we're all created by a creator, and a creator doesn't stop creating. So therefore, as the universe continues to advance and evolve, me, you, and us, all of us, we're supposed to do it too. And when we're doing that, then we feel good about ourselves. There's something, we feel good that we're not stagnant and we're moving, and you don't feel like, like you're not accomplishing anything, because that there's always something to do and there's always something to learn. You never can stop learning. Anytime you get to the point where you feel like I'm bored, then that's a signal that you off track. Because it could be another language, it could be another, some sort of task or some sort of training you can do. You can always get better. You can never say I'm bored, I can't get better. You can always get better in any field you want to, in any area, from your health, important things, from your health to your wealth, just to your mindset, to love, to the way you view things, and that's what you want to do. So today's topic is we want to ask you, are you really planning today for tomorrow? And we like to look at what project, just like I talked about Thanksgiving. We're planning right now for tomorrow. Are you doing that? A lot of people are spending their future earnings, their future money, their future seeds now on impulse.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I love this topic. When we were discussing what to talk about, you started talking about like your two selves, your future self and your present self. And something that came to mind is that oftentimes people look at the word future and they imagine that it's somewhere far, far, far off and away.
That's true.
So the first thing that I want everybody that is watching the show and listening to us today to do is to redefine future. We're not talking about something that has to be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. Your future can literally be 30 minutes from now.
Thanksgiving is in the future.
It's in the future. It hasn't happened yet.
It has not happened yet.
Right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
But we're preparing for that.
We're preparing. And so when you think about that, because using Thanksgiving as an example, right? So if you are big on the day and the family and tradition and all that it brings, and you have the expectation to show up to, let's say someone else is hosting to your parents' house or someone's house, and you have the expectation that they have the entire Thanksgiving spread laid out, and you show up there and they don't have anything.
Oh, man.
You're going to be thinking, what were you doing?
Right.
You knew this day was coming.
You knew I was going to get on a plane, or you knew I was going to drive to your house.
Right. You knew that we were going to gather here. We knew that we were going to be here. You mean to tell me you didn't have peel the potatoes? You ain't soaked the greens yet. You ain't smoked the turkey. You didn't do any of these things. And with Thanksgiving being tomorrow, one day into the future, we're using that as an example, regardless of if you celebrate Thanksgiving or if you're going to be eating, whatever the case may be or not. We want you to think about your future as it relates to something that's going to happen, and what are you doing to prepare for that?
Like your retirement.
Big one.
It's like, I want to retire, in 2 years. It's like saying Thanksgiving is going to happen, in 2 years, but I'm going to eat all my turkey money. I'm going to spend all the food and things that I'm going to host, and people are going to come to my house. When they get there and there's nothing, they're going to say, we got on the plane. We drove here. We came up to your house to have Thanksgiving dinner. Why don't you have anything? You said, because I don't have any money. And you're like, why don't you have any money? You know we're going to eat and feast. Well, I ate it last week. What do you mean you ate it?
And better than that, right? Or adding to that, you even got on the phone and said, girl, you got your flight? You coming in? What time your flight come in? Oh, you coming in? Oh my God, we're going to have such a good time.
Right.
This is what people do with retirement.
Exactly.
I'm going to be retiring. I got 20 years in. I got 30 years in. And then I'm going to retire. I just got one more. And you're like, okay, you excited. You prepared.
And they say, I don't even know if I can. They say, I don't know if I can retire, but I'm going to retire.
I'm going to retire.
It's like, I don't know if
Yeah.
I have food in the house when y'all come, but I'm going to have Thanksgiving dinner at my house.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there when I Thanksgiving.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure
You're
it out.
going to be angry. You show up tomorrow. Are you hosting Thanksgiving? You having Thanksgiving somewhere else?
No, I'm going over to my brother-in-law's house.
Yeah. So if you show up tomorrow and ain't no Thanksgiving food, how would you feel?
I'll be like, what were you doing? Why'd you invite us over here? Why did you say come
Right.
over here? You know, this was in the future, and we were talking about it in the present, and you knew it was coming, and you didn't prepare for it.
Yeah.
He just said, hey man, I just live day to day.
Day to day. Here we are though. What we gonna do, right? So we're using this example. Now let's get into how you can use this these examples that we're giving you and apply them to your life, because we know that, I mean, I think most of us want to keep living, right? We're not looking to say, take me out right now, tomorrow. My goal is 120.
But you know, I hear someone saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, tomorrow isn't promised to you. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think about that when someone says, why should I plan? Because tomorrow is
Mm-hmm.
not promised to me.
Yeah, but what if it comes?
Yeah, that's the
What
risk.
if it comes?
That is the risk.
Right.
You got to hedge
Yeah.
your risk. You're right.
What if it
You're
comes?
right. We don't know.
Mhm.
We don't know. But if you don't know, then you got to hedge your risk. In other words, you got to prepare just in case tomorrow does come. It's better to be prepared than not be prepared.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Yeah. Because what if it comes?
What if it comes?
And for our people,
Tomorrow.
especially our people, like Black and brown people, we have to get out of the thought process of only planning for ourselves and what we can consume, what we can enjoy. Hear me good when I say this. We have to get out of that. When you say, what if tomorrow doesn't come? That means you're only focused on you and what you get to enjoy. I want you to think like an oak tree, right? So if tomorrow doesn't come, at least you have planted the seeds that will continue to grow so that your loved ones, your family, your children, your spouse, your community will benefit from it. So if you start thinking about, and we did a show about this, I don't know if it wasn't last week, maybe the week before, where we're all connected and not just thinking about self.
Oh, yes.
And so if you are in that frequency where you're not solely thinking about self and you're thinking about your family, your friends, the collective as a whole, then you won't have the thought of, well, I'm not going to plan for tomorrow because tomorrow may not come. You'll have the thought that I'm going to plan for tomorrow because even if I am not here physically in the flesh, the seeds that I have planted and the plans that I have made will benefit others.
Yeah, you know, you couldn't have said it any better, because it's like me. I grew up just with my mother. My father was in Chicago, a drunk, and my mother left him and said, "No, we ain't doing this." And she's got a new start and came from Chicago to by since Ohio to Miami, and she basically said, "Okay, you guys got to be the foundation, and you got to do the right thing and make something of yourself." So I believed that, and I did it, and I followed my mother's advice and her instructions. I honored her. And I'm looking at the effects, how what I've done in sacrifice and what I've done in trade-off and what my discipline has paid off, not only for me, but for my children and my children's children.
Bingo.
And that's my children's children are reaping the fruit.
Bingo.
And they actually see and they say, oh my God. So your point is exactly right. It wasn't just for me. I knew that I was like a tree. And one day I will be gone, but that tree will continue to thrive and prosper.
You actually changed the trajectory. You changed the timeline of your entire bloodline.
Yes.
You do that. Now we all have choices, right? So one of my daughter's friends, she flew in town yesterday and we were talking and they were telling me about, she's not from South Florida. She moved to South Florida to attend Nova. That's where my daughter went to college. And in her freshman and sophomore year, she had a best friend. And then she met my daughter. My daughter's like, then she met me, and now I'm, she got over that best friend. But the point is, her freshman and sophomore best friend that she had, she found out that she has an OnlyFans. Do you know what OnlyFans is?
I heard of it, but I don't really know what
It's
it is.
where some people don't use it for that, but primarily where you get to show your body parts and be naked and like, you want to see something, pay me for it, like pay-per-view on the internet, like that kind of thing.
Like internet, like Playboy type
Correct.
thing.
Right. So she found out and she was like, Ms. Henderson, should I call her? Oh my God, I should text her and ask her if she's okay. And I said to her, I said, aren't you glad you aren't on that timeline? I said, because had you all still been friends, you probably would think that that's normal, as though she thinks that's normal.
Wow.
You're on a completely different timeline than her. You texting her saying, are you okay? She's gonna be like, yeah, girl, I'm fine. What you mean? Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? So when we talk about planning and the choices, and I said to my daughter, I said, one decision, one choice that you make, just imagine yourself driving in the car. It takes you down a different path.
Oh, yes.
It takes you down a different path. So back to today's topic, when we're talking about planning for your future self, I know that you all are listening to us. You're tuned in, tapped in. Hopefully you are picking up what we're putting down. I haven't said that in a while, huh?
Yeah, you haven't said it in a while.
Yeah, hopefully you are picking up what we are putting down. Now we want to give you some things for you to think about within self, because we've been giving you a lot of examples so that you can connect the dots and say, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. But when it comes to you planning for your future, how does one start? Because most people just live on autopilot, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again,
right.
subconsciously. And what they're actually doing is living in the past.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yes. Yes, doing the same exact thing, eating the same exact food, having the same exact habits.
And of course, you're going to get the same results.
Yeah.
So if you want to plan for your future, and we just said the future can be whatever 30 minutes from now.
It is. The future is like 1 minute go by, that's the future.
That's it.
So what are you doing now? Because the future
free?
Is coming.
How do you break free? Like, what do you do? How do you break free and stop the Groundhog Day?
Well, it's like, okay, you mixing a sweet potato because you feel, okay, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, Thursday.
Let me just say, not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you. I always find it hilarious when you talk about making food.
Yes, for someone, I understand it now.
Even though you don't.
Even though I don't take action and cook, but I do understand.
Okay.
I do understand that there are certain ingredients. I do understand the concept.
Sweet potatoes.
I understand the concept.
Okay, back to your story.
It's like a coach that doesn't play out there, but he can coach.
Gotcha.
He can say, "Come, you missed that tackle. You missed the ball. This guy can catch. He knows, but he can't.
He's not out there. He ain't running the ball.
He's not out there.
Right.
But he can see. He can observe.
Okay.
So I think that I'm very observant.
Okay.
That's why I can use these metaphors and come up with these different pictures. So it's like you want to cook. It's like you're preparing the potatoes and the butter and all that to do the sweet potato pie. But you know that it's not going to be served until in the future, which is tomorrow. But what if everything we did, okay, we prepared it for the future, which is 5 minutes, the next 5 minutes, the future.
Right.
So you could eat some, but you don't want to eat everything for the next day or the 5 minutes. You also want to plan for the next 5 minutes, tonight, tomorrow, a month from now, because you guys know them bills coming. You know the mortgage coming. You can spend the money if you want to, but you know you got to pay that mortgage or that rent on the first of the month. That's a plan, but you don't have to stop there. Those are temporary. Those are things that are happening now, but you got to plan for next year. You got to plan for 5 years from now. You could do it now because every day, every nanosecond that takes place, we're getting closer to there. So if you're doing the right thing, man, I tell you, time is on your side. If you're not doing the right thing, boy, time is not on your side and disaster is closing in. So the question is, I want you to think about what we're really saying. You got to stop the impulse. Impulse spending is not really thinking, is it? Think about what I just said. Impulse spending is not truly thinking. It's just doing. Without planning, man, there's no way you can actually be successful in anything without planning. Because if Thanksgiving is tomorrow, if you don't plan, it's going to be a disaster. It's not going to be a Thanksgiving.
You're not going to have it, especially if you're in charge of cooking something. If you're in charge of paper plates, you'll be all right.
No, but you spent the money, you got to go buy them.
Right.
So we're using this metaphorically in terms of Are you planning
Mm.
for your future self? Are you spending your future dollars right now?
Let's get into the weeds a little bit. Y'all know I like to get into the weeds. Let's get deep. So, for those of you who are listening, and it sounds good, right? It sounds good. And I never want to make it sound flat to you and just like, oh, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm going to click off here and I'm going to do the same thing. Let us give you some things that are practical that you can assess, review, and then implement. So, as we're giving these analogies and we're sharing the importance of you planning for the future, and Mr. Henderson is talking about retirement, we're talking about Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be. Let's go back to money, since we know that we're the money folks, right? The Henderson Financial Group,
That's what we do.
full service financial planning and investment advisory firm. So let's go back to money. So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I get it. I want to be prepared in the future. And I want to stop living in the past by doing the same thing day in and day out and getting the same result. But it doesn't feel good. But for me to stop spending all my money, let me say this a different way. For me to then start saving some of my money for myself, you're telling me you want me to put $1,000 a month, $500 a month away from me. You're telling me that, and I get it, because when I show up to retirement, I don't want to eat beanies and weenies. I want to eat whatever I want to eat. You know what I mean? I want to live my desired lifestyle in retirement. I don't want to rob my future self in the present anymore. So I get it. But when you say to me, put away $1,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little uncomfortable.
Oh, listen, a 29-year-old girl told me ain't no way she gonna do it.
Right.
And she have the money. She says she is not going to save $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to go out and she needs to have a good time every weekend. She's not going to say, I say for yourself. I ain't talking about for the neighbor or for your friend. I'm talking about save your money and plant your money so it can be even more in the future.
Your account, your name on it.
That's right.
It's yours. You can access it at any time.
She said, oh, no, I don't roll like that.
Yeah.
She said, oh, no, I don't roll like that.
So for those of you listening, we understand you're not alone, because you may be thinking this. You may be like, you know what? Those Black Friday sales are hitting. They're emailing me. They're texting me. Get 30% off, 70% off, like all of these things. And I hear what you're saying, Mr. Henderson and Hyacinth, but I don't know if I can do it because it's uncomfortable for me to do it. It's uncomfortable for me to miss a sale. It's uncomfortable for me to not go out. It's uncomfortable for me to not buy a new outfit every time I'm going on a date. It's uncomfortable for me to do these things. But I hear what you're saying, and I want to move from just listening to you to actually putting in action behind the idea.
Right.
How do I do that? What do I do when that voice comes up and says, "Child, please, girl, you don't." You'll make you some more money.
Well, the first realization that we all have to understand and believe and confront and look at is that we're all under attack. The month of November and the month of December, ain't a man or woman alive who are not under attack subliminally, subconsciously. We are under attack for our money. I'm telling you.
Tell me about it.
Listen to me what I'm saying. In November, boy, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, Thursday. They putting Christmas stuff out. They don't just forgot about Thanksgiving. Christmas is everything. The sales coming. Black Friday is every day now. Yeah. You have to understand and realize nobody's not going to tell you but us. We are under economic, financial attack. And every November and every December, 60 days from November to December, all of us are being full court press, from the jewelers to the auto dealers to the just getting ways. They have came up with psychological ways to make you spend your money, even money you don't have. They say, here's a credit card. You don't need to have green dollars. Don't matter if you don't actually have it. Here, put it on this card. We're going to charge you 29% in the future. Don't worry about the 29% interest that we're going to get. But here's a card. Go spend it now. And we are under attack. We have been under attack since we were born. Until now, it becomes normal. And that's why the rich get richer, the merchants get richer, That's why they're in control. If you're not in control, somebody's in control of your mind. I'm telling you, you got to pick. Are you in control? If you think you're in control, then you should be able to have discipline. But not only are we under attack, but the system and the merchants know what part of our selves to attack. Now, they know they got to attack the feelings. They know that they must attack feelings, what you hear, what you see, what you smell. They got to attack them systems. So that's how, I won't say the enemy, that's how the merchants get in to rob you of your future self, your future financial prosperity. It is a system, and they attack. That's how it's almost like, like if you want to make sure that rodents don't get in your house, you want to get the ants out, everything, you got to make, get the spray, you got to plug up the hole so they won't come into your house and invade your territory. Well, we have not been taught to turn a blind eye or actually plug up the leakage, the holes where the system can come in and rob us of our future good. We don't even understand what's going on. Isn't that amazing?
It's very
amazing.
Pretty
deep.
It is. It's very deep.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah. As you were speaking, and then you so I'm going to go back to that. But as you talked about see, touch, smell, it reminded me of a conversation I had yesterday. And with the conversation, we were talking about real Christmas trees. And the person told me that Christmas trees, he went to buy a Christmas tree and he was told $175 for a Christmas tree. And he was like, no. And then I talked to somebody else and they said, hey, Walmart has the Christmas trees for $200, right? Mm-hmm. So in that moment, there was a quick thought process of, oh, but you want a real tree because, right? Because the smell and you want the
feeling. Oh, man.
So when you said that,
yes,
when you say literally we are under attack by our five senses.
Yes, that's how you enter. That's how they enter.
You have to, I want everybody out there listening to connect the dots to that, right?
Oh, that's deep, man.
Yeah, where are spaces where you're like, no, I'm in control. But then things like that, you're like.
It is. The system said,
I got you. Because we're going to bring in nostalgia, right? Yeah. You have to have the scent and for 30 days.
Oh, man.
Right? Yes. So as you were speaking again about us being under attack in the months of November and December, what I heard loud and clear is we need to regain control of our mind.
Yes, ourselves.
That's it.
Our minds.
So how do you do this? How do you avoid, aside from
how do you muscle up?
Right. So the first thing is your mind. Like you have to gain control. First, let me not say that. You have to become aware. And I think you just did a great job of making everybody aware.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I think you did a phenomenal job.
Are y'all
Drop
aware?
One in the comments if you have now gained the awareness of Mr. Henderson by him sharing that during the months of November and December, we're under attack. My phone is going off all day long with text messages. And here's the thing for sales and stuff. Here's the thing. I changed my phone number June 1st. There are only about 4 or 5 companies that actually have my cell phone number because now I opt out of text messaging. So that means that one company has texted me today already 3 times.
Wow.
About their sale.
About their sale?
About their sale.
Wow.
One company has texted me 3 times. So imagine if you have all these different, you signed up for this. So when we talk about you being under attack and you needing to be in control of your mind, we're not saying that lightly. This is the groundwork in order for you to actually construct the house. Now I'm using another analogy, right? Metaphor. This is the groundwork in order for you to actually construct the house, add the roof, add the beams, do the stucco, whatever else is needed for a house. You know what I mean?
So in other words, your mind.
Right. You have to start with awareness, which you talked about.
Right.
And then like, okay, am I aware? I wasn't aware. Now that I'm aware, how do I stop this? Because it ain't their fault. How can I regain control of my thoughts and my mind so that I can then make different decisions? Yeah, man, because it's all around you. I know Natalie and I went out with our neighbors. They wanted to go out for dinner, Italian restaurant. And when I came home on a Saturday, we went out to them and took us to an Italian restaurant. It was very good. After it was early dinner, after we left the Italian restaurant, they said they wanted to take us to this lounge and they was going to surprise us. Oh, okay. I love that for you.
I did. Yeah. Okay. So keep on loving it. Okay. We didn't get there yet. She said she loved it for me for going out to dinner and my neighbors
And a
said
lounge.
taking us to a lounge. Okay.
Yay.
So we drive up there and they say, okay, this lounge, this lounge, and it was a hookah lounge. A hookah lounge. And he said, hookah? I don't do hookah. And they said, no, don't. We just want to let you. It's so beautiful in here, which it was. It was new. It's beautiful. They had a deco.
How old are your neighbors?
They are 62 years old. Yeah, they're 62 years old because I'm 65, 63. They're about 62 years old.
62, we're going to take our neighbors. Okay.
Yeah,
To a hookah lounge. You get in the hookah lounge.
Yeah. We're not, they're white, we're black, I mean, so, so they said, okay, get into it. They says, but they said, listen, we can have a glass of wine here. It's just not hookah. They have wine here and we can sit there and talk and all that. And we just relax. And it really was a beautiful atmosphere.
Mhm.
And they had this hookah, all the different stuff from the, this peppermint, the ginger and all that. Right. So we said, no, we don't do hookah.
Oh, but your neighbors do hookah.
Yeah. Our neighbors do hookah.
Mhm.
Okay. And they so we're talking, I'm going to tell you, I'm making a demonstration about our armored car minds. So we like our neighbors and their neighbors. So we sat in this beautiful place and the server came on and it was like, oh my God, it reminded me of something that Apple would do.
Oh, nice. Where was it? This was in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, it was in Fort Lauderdale. But
Okay,
it reminded me of something. It reminded me of, how Apple products are
very
clean, crisp, look futuristic. That's
Mhm.
how the whole atmosphere was.
Okay.
But they had greenery and everything.
Okay.
And they had the bar and the spices and all that. So anyway,
Was it outdoors?
no, it was outdoors and indoors.
Oh my goodness.
It was really laid out, like, so I said, oh my God. And I went and I kept saying, oh my God, this place is so beautiful, so beautiful. So we sat down and they ordered the hookah. And then they said, come on, just try it. And I said, nah, we're not interested in this. It's not going to hurt. Have you ever did it before? And I said, no. In my mind, I'm saying, I'm 65 years old. And this lady think that I done went through middle school, high school, college, and all my friends trying to get me to do drugs. And all of a sudden she feel like, hey, I want to be hip with her and I'm going to do hookah. And I'm like, no. I said, just give me a glass of red wine. Natalie said, just give us some water. My wife said, give us some water. And we just sit there. And her and her husband just hookah down. They hookah down. But at that point,
oh God,
I said, man, at 65, you still get peer pressure. It never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends. You got to be strong in your beliefs and what you want to do. You got to be the king and the king and the queen of self. You are. There are no other bosses and managers. You can't even fight if you fire yourself. You can't even lose a job because it's self. You can decide what you want to do, when and where. I don't care. You got to have that. So we laughed and everything. I had me a little sip of wine. Natty wouldn't even drink. She just drank water, and she sat there. And but anyway, that was an example of saying that
your mind is constantly under attack.
Your mind is constantly under attack, and you got to realize that you got to have discipline. You got to be firm in your belief. If you got a plan, you can't deviate. If you said we said we getting ready to take a road trip from Miami and we're gonna go to New York. You can't wind up in Jacksonville and hang out there for a week. We got to get going. We can't get deterred. You can't drift. It's all about being focused. If you really want something out of life, it is impossible for you not to get it, but you have got to have a strong mind. You got to have willpower and you have to have discipline, because I'm telling you, from the radio to the merchants, to the music, to the books you read, to the social media, man, we are under attack. So, and you think we're not, we are. And when you have nothing and you saying I work every day and every month I don't have no money. Yes, you did. You decided on your own or someone convinced you to spend your money, your future money today. Does that make sense? It's amazing. It is amazing. You in November and December, man, Christmas, this fake Christmas, Santa Claus. Can you believe that? I told all my children, Kicey, no, I'm Santa Claus.
Very
All
early.
very early. Don't not what you want. Daddy getting it funny. Santa ain't no fat white man coming down no chimney. We ain't got no chimney. I am Santa Claus. If I'm gonna get you a little truck, I'm gonna get you a computer. I bought this. Ain't nobody getting no credit. Something stranger. Me and Mama bought this, and you do the same. Don't be lying to them kids because they gonna come out. Eventually, that lie gonna be told. Let me tell you something. Every lie, woke is being attacked. Who don't want to be woke? Who want to be sleep?
Yeah, it's the media, right? And so a lot of times people we're like, oh, this is so wrong, this is bad, but you're in the school of life. You are in the school of life. That is one of your life lessons, is to regain control of your mind and make choices that are in accordance and that benefit you and your life's path, your life's purpose, and your life journey. There is no sense in getting upset at everyone else because you did not make decisions. As I was thinking about the hookah example, and I was saying, I'm so glad you didn't do it, which I didn't have a doubt in your mind that you would. I didn't doubt.
Let somebody.
I didn't doubt. But fast forward, right? So my mind instantly just went and replayed the scene really quickly, like what could happen. I'm like, dang, imagine if he would have smoked the hookah, liked the hookah. Now he in the office and he vaping because he got, they got the little carry hookahs you can vape and stuff. Now he vaping. I'm like, what's going on with you? Like life could have changed that quickly.
If I was weak-minded.
If you were weak-minded.
Right.
Because of one instance.
Right.
So I share that because it is vitally important for us to understand the importance of having control over our mind and also building our discipline muscles. So when we talk about the 29-year-old who said, I'm not putting away $1,000 a month, what she's really saying is that I'm hurting. I don't have that discipline muscle as strong yet.
Right.
That discipline muscle is weak, and I need some help strengthening that muscle.
But right now she didn't want to listen.
She didn't want the help, right? So when we're talking about planning for your future self, and we're getting a little bit deeper because we want you, especially over these next few days while you have some time off and we have some time to think, and while you're under attack, right? To think and say, okay, what do I need to do? I'm aware of the problem. I'm aware of where I am. I know that I need to regain control over my mind. I know that it's going to take dedication and discipline. How can I do this? Here's something that I want everyone under the sound of my voice to understand. You don't wake up one day and magically become ultra disciplined.
No.
In order for you to strengthen your discipline muscles, just like in order for you to gain biceps or triceps or a big donkey butt, right? You have to keep going, or you can buy it these days. You have to keep going to the gym day in and day out, hitting your caloric intake, doing what you need to do. Repetition. Same thing with your discipline muscle.
Yeah.
So it is not enough for you to listen to us today and say, you know what, you're right. I don't have anything for retirement. I'm spending all my money on BMF, blowing money fast. I'm going to do something today. And then I'm not going to do it again for the next week until I hear y'all again, or the next 30 days or the next 6 months. So what I want you to do is think about ways that you can strengthen your discipline muscle. And here's the thing. Once you have the muscle, you can use that muscle for other areas of your life. So what I'm saying is if you strengthen your discipline muscle, not only will your finances improve, your relationships will improve, your performance at your job will improve. Your interactions with people will improve.
Your eating habits will improve.
That's a big one. That's straight discipline. That is strictly discipline.
Yeah.
So think of ways, what you should be doing is saying, how can I strengthen my discipline muscle? And for some of you, it may be something as small as saying, you know what? Every day, instead of throwing my clothes in the middle of the floor when I come home and leaving them there, I'm going to put them in the hamper. Or every day, I'm going to read for 10 minutes before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Every day, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes or 5 minutes before I start my day.
Or for the next 30 days, I'm going to make my bed up when I get out of it.
That's one of my favorites. That's life-changing. You come in that room and that bed freshly made up and it's all clean and stuff. Baby, take me now.
Or every day, I'm going to, clean the tub when I get out of it.
Yeah. Something simple as that, right? Or every day I'm not gonna leave dishes in the sink anymore.
That's right. All week long.
Right. Like you don't even wash dishes.
I've heard of that.
I'll have you know I stopped my son from washing dishes. Your granddaughter doesn't like it, but I don't have him wash dishes anymore.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm
good.
like,
that's right. Don't let him do it.
I don't want you doing
Don't start that.
I for a split second, but anyway, so the point is, I want you to think about something that you can strengthen, or an area of your life that you need to strengthen your discipline muscle, and start doing it and watch how you feel. And then it'll become easier for you to become more disciplined in other areas. Many of you who've been watching this show for many years know that years back, I started observing Ramadan. not Muslim, but I started observing Ramadan because I wanted
Discipline.
to strengthen my discipline muscle.
Yeah, because when you start working on your discipline muscles,
Mhm.
it really has an effect on every aspect
Yeah.
of your life, not
Yeah.
only from your health improving,
Yeah.
but also your financial. Because when you start saying, I'm disciplining this, I'm disciplining my house cleaning, I'm disciplining my what I'm eating, I'm disciplining what I'm saving. You
Mhm.
man, you become very, very your self-esteem really heightens. You really become strong mentally. And there's no greater strength than have a mental strength.
Yeah.
There is no greater strength than to
Yeah.
have mental strength, because you can have
Mhm.
all the money in the world and still be a fool. And there's plenty of evidence of that. Just
So-
because you came up with a product or service does not make you a mental militant. But that's what you have. And each and every one of us can have that, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of how we was born, regardless of our how we came into this world and our economic status. If you work on your mental strength and discipline, there's no way, there's no place, there's no height that you cannot achieve.
Mhm.
It's all about your thoughts, your action, and how you're thinking. And you must understand, if you're not using your mind, I promise you, the whole system is trying to use it, whether you know it or not.
It's up for grabs.
It's up for
It's
grabs.
up for grabs, really. So, speaking of future self, I don't want to leave this show without reminding you and encouraging you that you can increase your income. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. For the most part, I stay disconnected from it, but every now and again, I hear about it's hard and this and all these things like that. You know, you can make some more money.
You can increase your income. And I'm not saying by getting rich quick schemes.
Mhm.
First, what you want to do is the foundation. You want to plug up the holes. And it's like plugging up the holes that's in the cup. At least you got to stop losing what you have. You got to stop giving away what you have first. Just by stop letting money just slip away and be in control of your thoughts and your actions, you're going to save a lot of money, you know?
And and I thought of that because we were talking about discipline.
Yes.
So it takes discipline to be able to do the things that you need to do so that you can gain the knowledge, provide the service, and then receive some more money.
That's right.
Because that's the way that it works.
Universe.
You get paid according to the level of service that you provide for
That's
others, right? So yesterday, my son and I and his dad, we were talking, and I said, "Okay, I'm going out of town again." If you're going out of town again, I said, "I'm going to training. It's not vacation." He says, "My dad was just at training. You're at training." I said, "You see where you live? You see." You want to move? You see where you live? You see where your daddy live? Right. He said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Absolutely. I do have to go out of town for training. Nobody's making me.
Right.
Nobody said sign up for this." I said, "But I chose to go out of town for training so that I can
sharpen your knife."
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. So that you can earn more. Another thing I want to add as we're talking about planning for your future self, I want you to know this from the depths of your soul, to take this, know this, accept it, and remind yourself of this. Nobody is going to save you. You must save yourself.
That's right.
A lot of times people are waiting for other people. You're blaming this circumstance. You're blaming this person. You're blaming the economy. You're blaming the president. You're blaming all these people instead of taking accountability and doing what you need to do. Let's talk about awareness. There's an attack on your mind. Let's talk about discipline instead of doing the things that you need to do so that you can then take control over your life and then create a new life. That's the only way it's going to happen. If you wait for someone else to create a new life, you're going to be living Groundhog Day. Because when you turn on the media, whether it's social media, the radio, the news, whatever else people watch these days, when you turn that on, they have an agenda. That's why they're here.
Steal your mind. Take your mind
and tell you what to do
before, tell you what to believe.
Yeah, tell you what to do, tell you what to believe without even thinking.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, you know what? I do want to make changes. I do want my future to be different than my present. You're going to have to take control of your mind and do something completely different. And it's going to take discipline.
You are the master of yourself.
It's going to take discipline. It's going to take you doing what you don't want to do, what you have to do when you don't feel like doing.
Oh, man, that's deep.
It's going to take that. You doing what you have to do, or let me take half out of it. You doing what you know you should be doing. You doing what you ought to do, even when you don't feel like doing it.
Now that's something. You a mother. You're a bad mother if you can do that.
Right.
You a bad
Right.
mother jammer if you can do that.
Yeah.
Do the things that you know you ought to be doing, especially when you don't feel like
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's from eating the right thing. That's for
Yeah.
exercising. That's for pulling back. That's for saving your money and saying, okay, I'm not going to spend this. I don't need
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Save it for your future self.
Your
Okay.
future self.
I gotta
Linda,
go. You know-
okay, really quickly, let me read this comment.
Well, she got to call you. Linda, you got to call Heisey.
I think everyone else would want to hear this. Can you
Let's
spare?
go.
Thank
2
you so
minutes.
much for your kindness.
2 minutes.
Linda Vincent says, okay, so I can put away $1,000 a month to start for sure. But my question is, if you have 2 children, what should that amount be? Should you just start with $1,000 and then once you successfully, somebody else left the comment, once you successfully do that month by month, then you try to increase it? Great question, Linda. There is no one size fits all financial planning advice. I love that you're thinking about your children. I call that legacy planning. Give me a call.
Yes.
Mr. Henderson.
305 825 1444. Repeat that. 305
825-1444.
Give us a call today.
Yes.
Hey,
Will you do
peace.
the show Saturday?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the show Saturday, but I got an appointment now. I know you could talk like it every
How about
Yeah,
them Dolphins?
Man, you could tell,
How about them
10 years ago, Heisey was so scared to get up and say her name. 10 years ago. Now I can't repetition. Now look at her now, boy. You just can't shut her up.
Are you saying you want me to show?
No. I'm saying it's
You
time to
not
go
saying
because I got in 1
You
minute.
got
I got an
somebody?
appointment, a client. Okay, we gotta go.
Oh.
Peace, love, and happy Thanksgiving to you all. Love you. Be the
Peace.
master of yourself. Be who you were born to be. Take control because we are under attack. Know that. And please say, no, you ain't getting my money. This money is for me. Say that to yourself.
Peace.
Peace.